Kamlesh, are you starting the recording or should I start from my end?
I have started.
Okay. So should we wait for some more time or can we go ahead? Okay.
Please go
So,
ahead.
okay. A very warm welcome to all. And just first of all, thanks for joining this session this Saturday morning. Take out the time from your busy schedules and all this weekend. So hopefully you all will get and learn something new from this session and you can utilize in your projects or your ongoing activity. And it's definitely quite interesting. And I will definitely try my best to give the something like the new and some advantage you will get with respect to the demo and the presentations what we are going through in this next 1 hour. So to start with, I am Manoj Vittal, working as a senior architect in the Maitri Limited. So as I mentioned here, my Twitter handles and the LinkedIn, you can follow me here. Quite active on my blogging site. So whatever demonstrations we are going to here, so everything is well documented in the blog sites. I will just walk you through. No need any writing or the screenshots. You will get everything documented with all the solutions. Here is a YouTube channel. So what are the latest videos which I am uploading with respect to M365, SEOs and the cognitive, you will get it here. So I have with me my colleague Shekhar. Shekhar, over to you. You can give your intro here.
Yeah, thanks, Manoj. Hi, everyone. I'm Shekhar. Currently, I'm working with Mighty Limited as a senior software engineer. I'm working with .NET Framework and React.js and have some experience on SPFX components. And here on the screen, I have mentioned my Twitter and LinkedIn account. You can follow me up here. Yeah, Manoj.
Thank you. Thanks, Shekhar. So let's start with the today's session. So as we talk about the Microsoft Search, so a couple of slides I will just give the theoretical understanding what is Microsoft Search and what we are going to do here and what advantage you will get after end of this session. Okay. So if you see the Microsoft Search, so most of the audience I can assume like the people has already worked in the search, such as in the SharePoint search and how this search works. We crawl the content from across the sites or at the farm levels or the multiple site collections level. So here we are talking Microsoft search. So this search is common and just crawl and index the content across Microsoft 365 ecosystem or Office 365 ecosystem. So as you see the definitions on the screen, so it's a key to deliver the Microsoft search capability is the ability to have consistent scope of result anywhere. So the meaning is anywhere here we are talking about in M365 ecosystem or Office 365 environment. So a lot of apps associated with M365 and Office 365 like the SharePoint is there, Word Online, PowerPoint, Outlook. So wherever you will go, you can get the you can search and get the consistent scope. Okay, so even if the interface look different, here the goal is to have a same experience, personalize and contextualize for that specific interaction point. So this is quite important. So why is personalize and contextualize? We will talk in the next slides more on that. So we just put it a few pillars, we can say like how the Microsoft search is important to us and how what the users will see. Okay, it's easy to search. Microsoft search suggests the result based on the user's previous activity. So that is a quite rich feature. It's not text-based search. What the keywords we are typing and mapping the keywords one to one and giving the results. It's do more than that. So it's use the previous, it's use the user's activity accordingly. Also, it suggests the results. Contextual. Context means, so here is the relevant results. We'll see if the user's in MS Outlook, so the result will come from Outlook, not from the SharePoint sites. So as you see here, the some small diagrams is there. So search box you will get consistent in the Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Office 365, and like that. So wherever you are in that context, the results will get from that section only, not from any other. So that is contextual, where we are and from where we are getting the results. Personal section, that's quite important. Okay, so results which you are working on, Microsoft Search use the insights from the Microsoft Graph. So what content is around you and what content you are working. So it help and promote those results more. So you will get those personal results appropriately here. Like whatever work you are working and you left in between and again come and search, you will get those results, and it help you quickly complete your works also in that way. Content locate. So basically you no need to worry about where your content is. If your file you have uploaded into the SharePoint or in the OneDrive or somewhere in the Word, PowerPoint. So you just search it, you will get all the content and you can start working about, no need to worry about whether my file resides in SharePoint or a OneDrive. So basically Microsoft Search is available on the 3 sections. People can use the office.com, that is portal.office.com. You can use the SharePoint Admin Center. You can use the Bing.com. In the Bing.com, you know, to log in with your organizational credentials, and then you're good to go with that. So let's come to the, that is the main topic of this webinar, how the Microsoft Graph connectors we can integrate with the Microsoft Search. So I'll just talk a little bit on this. So Microsoft Search shows the content that your organization has stored in Microsoft 365 tenant and index those data through the connector. Okay, Microsoft Graph connector basically index the third-party data that appear in Microsoft Search results. So the third-party data can be hosted in the on-premises, in the public cloud, or in the private cloud. Connector expand the type of content source that are searchable in your M365 ecosystem. So basically with this definitions, right, once we are looking in early days when we have a data in the SQL, Azure SQL or in the SQL on-premises, if we need to search to those data, that was a quite big process for that. So if we have a data in the SQL server and we need to search and crawl that content, we need to use the Azure search. And we need to define the indexing stairs, need to define the result source, and need to define the queries. And then we need to host it, those APIs into the any of the web API to get the content. But here Microsoft has done a lot of hard work and make it easy for us using the Graph connector. So if you see here, like we have a cloud-based activity, which is in a private or the public cloud, or like here in the on-premises. So we can use a connector, which is provided by the Microsoft, and as well as the partners. There are almost 7 connectors which is provided by Microsoft and 100 plus connectors available from the partners, and it's keep increasing day by day. So while using those connectors, we can connect with the Microsoft Graph API, and this Graph API is going to connect with the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So Microsoft Search we can configure into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center only, and which is going to connect it in the backend with the Microsoft Search services. And once our content will get crawled and get indexed, then using the Microsoft Search services, we can access that content using the Microsoft Search clients. So basically clients is SharePoint Online Admin Center, Office.com, or in the Bing.com. Okay, so licensing point of view, as such, no license is required to build a connector, and that admin can build and configure those connector. Only the license for the users who is going to use these things. The user should have M365 or Office 365 Enterprise E3 or E5 license, it's sufficient. And for the education's point of view, if they have education's A3 or A5 license, that is more than sufficient to use those data which is getting crawled here. Okay, so let's talk about Graph connectors basically. So connectors enable the external content which we can discover in our Microsoft Search experience, that is SharePoint Online, Bing, and Office.com. So Microsoft has the 7 Microsoft built-in connector, 100 plus partner built-in connectors, and we can. It's not necessary we are going to use those connectors also. If my data source something which doesn't exist here and we need to crawl that content, we can create our own custom connectors. That also we can achieve, and we can crawl the content and results. Basically, if you are using the Azure like Microsoft ecosystem, which is on the online, so Azure Active Directory identities, which do the resulting based on the security trims. So this is a big picture and the overall how this Graph connectors is going to connect here. So the share, like you can use the SharePoint, we can use the search using these are the search clients, the SharePoint, Office.com, and Bing. So we use those things to search the document, conversations, portals, timelines, and all. And if we are going to extend, then using the Microsoft Graph API connector, we can extend our search to these basically what are the external systems we have. So these connectors, if you see the Azure Data Lake, DevOps, enterprise websites, media wikis, ServiceNow, Azure SQL, and the Microsoft SQL Server. So these Microsoft has given the connectors, and these are the partners connectors. We can use any of the connectors and connect our content. We can index and crawl and get the results in one single platform. So to configure, it's just again on high level. I will just show all the steps in the detail in the demo. So once we are going to connect the configure the connectors, we need to connect with a data source, with the authentication, with the authenticated users. We need to map with our data source and whatever the data source we have and what the properties we are going to use in the search schema. Okay, we need to manage the permissions. We need to define the refresh interval, or yeah. So those things are like preliminary when we need to define we need to configure the connectors. And then when we are going to, when we connect our content with the Microsoft Search, we need to configure so we can show the results on the page like that, what is coming here, like here is a service now we showcase. So this is called a vertical. So we need to define the new vertical. So one more thing, when we are defining or configuring the Graph API and to connect with any of the external data source, so that results only will come into the custom vertical or like the separate vertical. Not, we can't merge with those all existing verticals here. So once the vertical we are going to define, before that we need to define the result source or the result type. It's basically what content source we have defined configured here, that we need to map it with the result source. On top of that, we can define some more rules if need to do, or how the content is going to look like, the layout we can define here, and then map it to the vertical, how the results will come up here. So okay, so let's jump to the demo. So here demo I'm going to give, we have 3 demos with me. So like the ServiceNow, how we can connect the external content that is in ServiceNow or the Azure DevOps or the Azure SQL. So let's see the one of the demo, and I will walk through the other sections, how the configuration settings need to do. So I'll just stop it and go back to the screens here. Okay, so this is the section like office.com. Once we log into the office.com with our organizational account, the screens will come like this, particular the search bar will come up here. So before starting the demo, I will show how it's look like. If you are looking the multiple tabs here or the verticals here, so the SQL Server is the one. So this data is nowhere coming from the SQL Server here. It's not coming from the SharePoint, not coming from the OneDrive. So, and once the data is getting from the SQL Server, in SQL Server, I have a table. In table, we have those flight names we have stored, flight status, destinations. And then once we crawl the content, after doing the result source, we design the cards, how the cards it's look like here. We can define the color codings here based on the status or the lot of other things we can do. It's just an adaptive card. So that is the one way. And if you go to the DevOps, so if I go here in DevOps and just search for the content, so you can see here also this data is coming from the DevOps section. So in the DevOps, we have a lot of tasks. If I go to the DevOps, so this is my DevOps section, and here a lot of tasks is there. For example, if I search any of the keyword, like the Power App keyword is there, and let's search and see how the results will appear there. If I go Power Apps, yeah, so the 3 results are coming. So similarly in the DevOps also, you see this is the one result. Here is a no space, that's why this result didn't come. And then second and third, these are the 3 results are coming here. So we can integrate our search with a DevOps. So it's quite easy. After doing the configuration, there are a lot of other use case comes into the organizations or in the particular customers level. When we are doing the work, we can extend to a lot more capabilities here. Okay, so this data, we can design our cards as per our requirement. We can add our fields here. Now coming to the ServiceNow. So ServiceNow again having the people are using for the ticketing system, and there are the knowledge base articles they are creating. So we are crawling the content from there, and again we are showing into the multiple cards the data also here. Okay, so let's move to the demo actually quickly, how this SQL Server connectors we can build it here. So once I log into the office.com, here we can go to the admin sections. Once I go to the admin section, this is the screen will pop up. And then here in the settings sections, we have a Microsoft Search. So once we select the Microsoft search, these sections will start appearing here. And here is the few sections will come up. Answers, insights, it just give the usage. Answers is a very cool features that my colleague Shekhar will talk about more on that, and it's very rich. If we talk about an enterprise search, acronyms, bookmark, very cool features. It help us to do the interactive search here, and the floor plans, locations, and Q&A. He will talk more about and give the demo on that. So I'll move to the connector sections. Once we come here on the connectors, so as I have configured all, so let's start with one more. So I clicked on add. I use the SQL. So as you can see in the screen, there are 7 connectors is available, which is out of the box provided by the Microsoft, and we can use others, which is provided by partners. I will show that link, so you can go through and check it out, those one also. So I click next. So here is the connector's name. I'll just give the SQL 06. Connection ID can be any name, it's just a name. Crawl the content. I'll just accept the conditions. Next. Oh, okay, sorry. I already have crossed the limit, so let me delete some which I have. Let it delete something. Or okay, so people who are not speaking, please be on mute here. Who is there? Okay, so here that has deleted. I will just go there on add. I'll select the Azure SQL processing. I'll give the name something Azure SQL 06, SQL 06, and again crawl content from SQL, and accept the term and conditions here. That is okay. Click on next. So once we click on next, so we need to provide the database server database IDs and those details. So this is my portal.azure.com, where I have already configured one of the database. So this is my database name and this is my server name. If you see here, I'll go to the query editor and I will show what the data exists here. I'll just log in with my SA account. So let's wait for a couple of seconds. It will pop up. Yep. So these are the table structures. So let it load one of the table. Yeah, so I'll go and browse the flight data. So if you see, this is my SQL table, which is having this particular data. I want to crawl this data and want to design the card. So we'll just take this demo there. Okay, so let me go back here and get the server details. So this is the server name. I'll go back here and provide the server name. I need a database name. So this is the database name here. Okay. So connections, once we need to connect, there are 2 options. What credentials we need to use? We can use the basic or we can use the Azure AD, that is OpenID. So here I will use basic for this demo purpose. I'll use SA admin and my password is password only. I'll just use the test connection. So once it's connect, yeah, so we got connection successfully. We'll move to the next stage. So full crawl. So once we have created the connections, we need to define our crawling. So if you know about in SharePoint, like we have a 3 type of crawling in the SharePoint, the full crawl, incremental crawl, and continuous crawl. So I'll not go in detail what those 3 type of crawl, but here it supports the full and incremental crawl only. So full crawl, basically what it needs here, we need to type the select query. So what the data, we need to take it from the particular table, and we can apply the, as you can see here in the watermark, those queries is there. And we can define, if we need to take the data from multiple queries, we can define the joins to the particular table and get the results here. And you see the watermark. So this is a quite important sections here, what they have mentioned, the watermark. So basically the watermark is the field. Once we have a large data set, so my this particular connector is not going to crawl all the content in a one shot. So it has defined internally some sort of limit. Yeah, they are going to crawl the content into the batch wise. So internally it use the watermark, what columns we are going to define. It's a date columns for a particular date or any unique identifier column. So like it's taking the date for a particular duration, it's getting crawl and then giving that the where we have crawled the first time and moving to the next one, that particular duration is going to the next batches. Accordingly, it gets the crawl the content. Okay, so I have a query. I closed that one. Let me open quickly. Here. Yep, so this is the select query. Basically, we are going to use. Okay. And when you define the watermark column data type, I'm using the unique identifier. I have a flight ID here. I'll just use my data type is a integer. We need to validate. So yeah, it's validated. What is the watermark column data type name? It's a flight ID. I have a unique column also the same. So you see in the bottom screen, we have start getting the results here itself. So these are the columns which exist in the SQL server. Here we are getting the results. We got the preview here. Okay, once I click to the next. So similar thing in the incremental crawl. So we can define here. So it's a optional, but it's always a good practice to have a both full crawl and incremental crawl. You will get to know in the later steps why it's important. So I'll just paste it the same, and watermark data type column, it's the same integer. So column name also I will select flight ID. Okay, soft delete. So basically this soft delete was not in full crawl. Okay, we are getting here. The reason is like when we are crawling the content and we feel full crawl we have done for the entire table, and incremental crawl we feel that particular data which has some certain conditions we are going to define, which has like I'm talking about the flight data which is in my table. So the flight who has cancelled, no need to show, or who has already take off, no need to show. So those type of condition as based on the status or based on the timelines, like the date columns, we can define here, and it will exclude those results once it's going to do the incremental crawl. So that is the beauty of this soft delete column. So I'm just leave it as of now for this one. Click on the next. So here is a manage permission section. It's like if users is having the ACL section, we can define what columns, what type of content we need to showcase, what type of audience. So this is pretty much the same screens. Might be people who is working on a search, whether in the Azure search or a SharePoint search, it's quite common. So basically what columns we need to query, what column we need to search, and what column we need to retrieve. We can define it here. So for this time, I'll just select it all. I want to retrieve the data from all. Search also, I will select, okay, that's fine. I want to search all. Query point of view, I'll just take it. Flight ID, leave it. I don't want query that one. And that's it. Select all, next. So this will be common everywhere. So who can see this data in organizational level? Everyone can see. So here we are just doing the refresh settings. When the content is get crawl, it's not a one-time activity. So once the content is getting crawl, every time in the backend the data is getting crawl, data is getting up. So we need to match this data. So we can define the interval times, refresh times here. When my full refresh we want in a day, or when we can define that time. And incremental crawl is like when we need to define, so we can define the timeline here also. I'll just keep it out of the box here as of now. So that's all. So we have done with the content connectors, so that's fine. Now after that, our job is we are moving to the vertical and the result source. Okay, so what we have done here, it will appear in some time. So it's in a publishing mode. It will not take much time because I have a very less data. So it will appear soon. So now there are some limitations also once we are doing this one. Okay, so I just showcase with a Azure SQL, which is a SQL on the public cloud here. So if we are doing with the on-premises, then it just support SQL Server 2008 or later versions, not below that, not the below versions of that. And the indexings of the rich content if my SQL Server table is having a rich content like HTML is stored in one of the column or JSON has stored or XML has stored, that will not support it as of now. So, so these are the two limitations. We can say it's work here. So let's move to the refresh it. We'll see if it's done or still taking time. Yep, Azure SQL, yeah, it's ready. So you can see the item is still getting indexed, but this section is ready here. Now the required action for us, once the content is get ready, we can create a verticals and we can create a result source. So basically result source, we need to do first. Result source, we need to define the rules. We can define the rules and we can define the templates. Okay, I'll just give the name of the here SQL 06. Any name you can give as per your convenience. So you can select what's your content source. So just now I created the SQL 06. I clicked on next. So it's just optional. If you need to define any rules based on the particular columns, you can select and define the operators and all those rules. I will leave it as of now. And this is the important section. So how the content you want to display to the customer, what the layout we want. If you see here the launch layout designer. So Microsoft has given to us the search layout designers. So these are the some templates that exist. We can select any of the existing template, or we can design our own template. If I select the blank template and I'm not happy with all those, I want to do something my own. So we'll just land up to this page. We can define our own JSON structure with those columns. So I have already JSON structure. Let me take it out those one. I will go one of the article here in the GitHub section. One second. Just give me. This is the GitHub link. Yep. So in the GitHub link, I'll just copy paste this section. So that's depend how the cards we are designing. I'll just put it here. Okay, now you can see, yes, I pasted here. I designed my card, which is showing the flight name. What should be the flight name, flight status, and the source and the destination, and this the dummy icon. So this dummy icon we just uploaded into the blob storage and crawl into the GitHub and coming here. And you see in the bottom, so this is nothing, it's like a column structure we have created. So this is a one, this is the columns which is having these two sections, again one more column, again it's just a simple tabular structures which we have created and map our particular column which my DB is having, which we have crawled, and just giving the weightage and border, all these things. So just take this section, Control A, Control C, once it is done, and paste it here. And the next one, it's just fine. So our result type is done. So add the result type. We can add multiple result type, but for this demo we use the one. It's fine. Okay. So it will take again a couple of seconds. Yes, it's just appeared. Now what's the pending section is the create vertical. So verticals, it's nothing like a tab which will come. So I will just give the name here also as SQL 6. I'll just select the content type. We need the data from here. So this is a KQL query. If again we need to filter the records, we can do here. I'll just leave it, and it will show what are the columns it's going to show into our card system. So next, add the verticals. Yep. So yeah, once it's done, we need to enable the vertical. So it will take a couple of seconds to start appearing on the search. So let's see. Let's go back to the office.com, or let's go to the Bing. Okay. So the Bing one, if I go here, I'll just log into the bing.com. And I logged in with my organizational account. If you see the first sections, what will come, it will show my organization's name and other activity. This is my dummy account, so it's not showing all other activities, what the recent files I am working, and if I have any upcoming meetings and what I'm searching, what is my locations, that will all start appearing here. So as I crawl the content from the SQL, so we'll see what content we have crawled. So basically I'll go there, and we'll take any of the raw data. Okay, so we are talking about the flight, as like we'll take any of the flight status or any of the country name. We'll search with this, like these are the country names, like the Sweden is there. We'll go and just search for the something. So this is showing the data from the internet as of now. So we have our own tab work. So this tab will show the data from my organizational sections. Okay. So here it will take time to start appearing the SQL 06 what we have done. So I will select the what already I have created. If you see the Sweden, so all the flights detail, which is the country source country is Sweden, is start appearing here. Okay, so accordingly we can enrich our search with respect to SQL Server. Now let's quickly go through the DevOps. I will just go through that section also. Let's refresh. Okay. Okay, so DevOps I'm not going to configure. I will just walk you through all the steps in this sections what we have done. I'll just click the edit. It will be almost similar section and similar steps here. So here if we are going to talk with the DevOps, we'll just give the names and the connection ID and some descriptions if required. And it's similar what the connection string. So that should be your organizational DevOps or your the particular project organizational account that you can mention here. As we are creating all the ticketings and we are using the DevOps sections here. So this is my organizational account Manoj0795. So I use this one, and which will help to crawl the content. And this is the app ID and the client secret. So you can go through my blogs. You will get all the details how to generate the app ID and client secret step by step. I have mentioned. I will show you also those things once we click on the next. So here it comes. So what the properties we need, we can select as per in the card what we are going to show or any rules we are going to define. Accordingly, we can add and remove the properties. It will show, as of now, I added all the properties which exist. Click on next. So it will show all the columns which we need to query, search and retrieve. It's similar to the SQL Server. Which we show, and we can select which we need to crawl and which we need to not the crawl, which we want to search and retrieve accordingly. And just define, click on next, and then we can define the interval, incremental and the full crawl interval, and that's it. So for DevOps also we are ready here with the content source. So once the content source is ready, we need to define the result source, result types and the verticals. So here in customization sections we will go here, all the result types is live. Okay, so we can go to the results type. It's basically the DevOps. Once I select here, so let's edit this one. So it's a similar steps. We need to give the name. We need to select the content source. So here what I have created earlier, the DevOps, just select it. And the rules we can define, if need to define any of the rules. If my ticket has closed, don't come those data, we can just define the rules here. Similarly, the layout we can define here. What the layout you have seen in this sections, we can design the similar layout and we'll get the results there also. So for this, yep. So the layout, if you will see here in the DevOps, sorry, I'll go here and I will move to the DevOps. So how the layout, I will just search for the, okay. So such type of layout we can design as per our requirement. So once we move it here, click on next, and it will just copy paste. That is done. So result type we have defined. Similarly, we can add the verticals. So verticals also the similar section. So just give the name. Need to connect with the content source. So content source is same in our case, the DevOps. And then click on next. We can define, you can filter the query more on top of that, and that is also done. Once it's done, we just need to enable the vertical, and it will start. It will take some time. Usually it's mentions it's take depend on the data also. Like sometimes it comes usually in a couple of hours. So those sections. So this is more about the DevOps, how we can configure. Now the next and the last sections for this demo purpose for the ServiceNow, as the people are using ServiceNow for the ticketing system. If you see, okay, let me log in. Okay, so once we log into the ServiceNow, so here we'll get all the knowledge articles, and we need to crawl this content as this is the external system. Okay, DevOps is also like external. So the search is giving the capability at a one place we can crawl the content from the multiple sources and get at one source or in a one platform. It's save a lot of time for the users once they are moving here and there, and they can perform their work where they have left. Like in DevOps, they can upload, they can close their task, they can put their content. Manager can check their task status, all those things. Now coming to the service now, so we need to crawl this particular sections into the Microsoft Search. Similarly, I will go here in the connectors. So let's check out this section. So Ajay asking, I'll just deny. Okay, so service now, we'll just check it here again one more time. If I'll go here in the service now, so here you can see the results is appearing from there. If I go to the service now, we'll take anything from here like this sections. If I take it Microsoft Outlook issue, and let me put it here and search it. You can see the data is coming here exactly the same. We have a one article with the same title. It start appearing here. So let's see how to configure these sections also. So first of all, similarly, we need to go onto the click and create the ServiceNow section. So I will just select this one, which I have already created. I will go and edit this section. So here we can define the name, similar connection ID and description. It's almost the same. It's just a first screen for all type of connectors. Connection strings is varies what type of connections we are going to give. So this is the ServiceNow instance ID. So which we need to connect. If you see here, this is my ServiceNow instance ID that we need to give, and we can give again the credentials, what type of credentials we have, basics or others. So we can define, I just use the basic like which I currently use for the login purpose. We can use the next sections. We can configure the properties, what properties is ServiceNow is going to return, and with the help of that we are going to design the cards. So those properties is really required here. We'll just come and just go into the publish preview section. Yeah, so next one. So here it will again the same screens. What properties we need to query, search and retrieve we can define as per our requirement. I'll go to the next. We can select the permissions to the every one. We can define the refresh interval. So that's it. So we have done with the ServiceNow content source. Now the section says comes, we need to define the result types as well as the verticals. So similar sections in the result types, once we go to the add, or I have already somewhere here ServiceNow 2. So I will go and click. This is also the same. We are giving the name. We are selecting the content source, what we have created earlier, ServiceNow 2. And we are defining the rules. If we have anything, we can define as per the parameters of the keys available. And then we can define our own cards, right? And then click on the next and then done with the result source. Similarly, once this is result type is done, and we can go and create our verticals, which is nothing. It's like a tab, which is going to appear. And we need to connect with the content source and the result types what we have defined here. So this is fine. This is already exist. We don't. So content source, we can select. Yeah, it's there. We can define our own queries if we have anything, or we can select article. That is done. So this section is that easy. Like once we have configured everything, it will take couple of minutes or couple of hours as per based on the data. If we have a large data set, they have mentioned the 48 hours to crawl and get the content back on the screen. So once it appears, so we can go to the office.com and the bing.com, and we can all log in with our organizational account and get the result. So you guys can see this. I didn't write a single line of code. Even we get the content from external source. It's that is the power, and that is the enrichment of the enterprise search, how we can get the data and make it at a one umbrella, right? So yeah, that's all from my side. Now over to Shekhar to start with other rest of the demos. Shekhar, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Manoj. Yeah, I'm Shekhar. In addition to the Microsoft Search connectors, let's talk about a few more additional capabilities of Microsoft Search to help users to search for either files, folders, or people, or some simple questions. Let me walk you through the user experience first. Let me share my screen. Hope you guys are able to see my screen.
Yes, Shekhar.
Yeah, here I'm going to use either Bing Office search or either SharePoint search. Here I'm just walk you through Bing. Let me search for some M365. Let the results come. Here are the results we are getting from online, and here is the organizational result where user got logged in with the organizational credentials. And this is actually called bookmark. These bookmarks are added in the admin in the administrator center. And when you click on this, it will be navigating to the URL which admin has provided. And this is actually a bookmark. And in the bookmark, we can even have integration with the Power Apps. In my case, I'm just searching for leave request as it's in general. Yeah, this is my result from my admin. Yeah, when you open this, we just created a simple Power App form for leave request. Let me open this. Yeah, here I'm just logging in with the employee. Yeah, here comes, we can add our leave. I have added these many vacation, sick leave, the types. Just select some dates. Next, this is my manager for the request approval. Details, some XYZ. Yeah, details. These are the details which I have provided and submitting my request. Like
Yeah.
I can just submit the request from my bookmark itself, which admin has added here. And let's search for some people, whoever in the organization or in your team. In my case, I'm searching for Manoj. Here comes the result from my organization. You are able to see this contact information of Manoj, organization chart, and recent files which Manoj has tagged, and groups which Manoj and the user was sharing, and calendar events which both are sharing here. And
See, okay. So bookmark, what the Shekhar has showcased, right? It's a very important feature. If you see, like the search is nowadays only Shekhar. So the bookmark is very important feature. So if you see here, that it's not only for crawling the content and showing to the users. Okay, so as we can define the bookmarks with the different Power Apps, which is like a no-code solutions. Okay, low-code, no-code solutions, and the users can easily come and just apply the leaves. They no need to navigate to any of the other applications and just store the data. So that is the really powerful feature. Shekhar, over to you.
yeah, Manoj. Let me go with Office search now. Here it should come actually when you search with the Manoj Mittal. If you are configured with the office location, it should the tab office will be located here, and when you click on this, the link which the room which Manoj was there, it should be clickable. And when you open that, it should navigate to the floor plan, and there you can search for the building. Actually, it is not working for now. We just need to check for the demo purpose. That is fine. I'll just show the deck. Here is the floor plan. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, here you are able to see the flow. Office tab. Sorry. Here you are able to see the office tab. This is the floor plan, how it will be visible, and the particular location where the seat plan will be, available for the person who you are able to search. And when you are and you will be able to see the location from here. When you click on that location plan, it will be redirecting you to the locations where it is using a Bing map. Actually, you can able to minimize or maximize these. You can just get the directions from here, and I'll just show you how to configure these things. And you can even and we have one more feature called acronyms. If some new person was joined into the organization or in your team, if they wanted to know what are the terminologies they were using in the particular organization, they can directly go and search in the Bing or either Office or either even SharePoint search. In my case, I'm just searching for what is MVP. Here, MVP is some acronym. I'm just the results which I am getting is from organizational admin center. Here is the MVP, and the description is what description admin has provided here. And in general, you are speaking in a minimum valuable product. Here is most valuable personnel which I am talking in my organization. And one more is the question and answer, direct question to direct answer. In my case, I'm just taking up how to raise a MS ticket, Microsoft ticket or request, you can say. Yeah, here it is crawling our question to answer. Here you are able to click which it will navigate to the link which my admin has provided, and here is the content. Yeah. Now let me walk you through how we can configure these from the admin center. The admin, whoever has the access to the admin center, they can just go to admin center and just click on Microsoft search. They will be navigating to insights, answers, connectors. Connectors and customizations are done, and configurations. If you go to configurations tab, when you click on edit, yeah, here is the option where allow your organization to use Microsoft search in Bing. Because it is enabled, so we are able to search in Bing. For the even we have a extension to for the Bing search, like we can just download the extension and just search on the top of search bar, so that it will use the Bing search engine. For this, as of now, I'm just disabling and going to answers tab. We have acronyms, bookmarks, floor plan, and location. Q&A. I'm just going with acronyms for the first time. Here, whatever you are seeing, we are able to see. I have just have some collection of data. Yeah. Here I'm able to add the data, and here is the acronym which you need to mention, and expansion. And if you want to give some description, you can either give it. And here comes the source file, whether you can give website link or a file link. I'm just opening one of the collection. Yeah, likewise, here is the card which it will be rendering in the search. Here is the source description, and you can import bulk acronyms by downloading this template, and you can upload here. Let me open this template once, so that I can just show you which are mandatory fields and ID. Yeah, sorry for this. And coming to this, and acronym is mandatory, and expansion should be mandatory. URL is optional. Description, status should be like publish or draft. If you give publish, it will be published, and it will be available in the search results. And draft, if you put, it will be available only in the admin center, and you can anytime you can publish it. And last modified by ID. This should be empty, and you should provide only these columns, and you need to upload this. And coming to export bulk export you can do. And whatever acronyms you are adding here, these are called editorial acronyms. And if Microsoft is also providing another feature called mind acronyms, actually that is a pre-built feature from Microsoft search, that we can search acronym from either email or documents from the SharePoint or OneDrive or OneNote, or whichever user has access to the files. From there we can get, or publicly available data we can just retrieve from there, these acronyms. And no setup needed for that. It is just if some user sent an email with some acronyms, it will take up to 7 days to reflect in the result search. Yeah, for this editorial acronym, it will take up to 3 days to reflect in the result search after publishing. Next, bookmarks we have. Bookmarks
Yep.
also we have add.
Shekhar, just a time check. We have 10 minutes. So just want to tell you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Shekhar,
Yeah.
one more thing. So acronym, what you show, it's not like only adding the things here. So it's always promoting the results in our search results. So each organization has their own keyword, like which we are using. Like we use here the ANN and MVP. What the Shekhar has used. So MVP meaning in my organization is different. Might be internet is different. So that's why it's very helpful to define the acronym and get the results in that section. Shekhar, over to you.
Yeah. Next section we have bookmarks. Yeah, here is the bookmarks, and you can just add. I will just open to edit my last one. Yeah, here you will be having this title, URL you can mention, and bookmarks, description, and keywords, and reserved words. Reserved keywords should be unique, and it should be unique for the this particular bookmark and category. You can mention and dates available, country, region, and here comes the Power App. You just need a Power App ID, whichever you want to showcase at the result. You can mention height, width here. When you deploy this, it won't take much time to. When you publish it, at a time it will reflect in the result set and floor plan. Before going this, I'll just go with Q&A. Yeah, here is the same you'll be seeing with as bookmark, and when you open some item, here you are able to see this card, how it was shown in the result, and my title, URL we have, and here is the answer description. In bookmark, you won't get this feature. Here it will, we can have the feature to use HTML tags even, but limited HTML tags we have here, and keywords, reserved words as you saw, and you don't have Power Up feature here. And coming to location, yeah, here I have added 3 of the locations. Let me add one more, and let me give building 1 or something, India, and address you can just give whatever address you have. I have global village tech park. If your address is not crawling here, you can just give the latitude and longitude. You can mention it here, and keywords, result keywords you can mention, and whatever address you have, you can just map it with the particular user, so that on click of that office location of the user, it will just render up here. And coming to floor plan, yeah, we have added one floor plan here. I'll just go with this, adding floor plan. After adding the locations, whatever locations you have, it will take several hours to render here. Yeah, already we have 2 more. Yeah, let me take one of these things and let me upload. Here is the here what you need to upload, one DWG file. DWG file is like graphical representation of your floor plan, and it contains all the text labels of containing room numbers and floor numbers. Yeah, I have one sample. Let me upload this, and here you will be crawling for floor and wing in the particular floor. I'm just taking up floor. Next. Yeah, let it read. Yeah, here if your users are having the seat allocation particular with the text label in the DWG file, it should come here, but we don't have the uh, we don't have a particular schema, we can say. Like here you are able to see this text labels. These are the labels which we have. Yeah, these are the room numbers I have assumed here. And when you continue mapping with the users, it will ask for ADD code. Building ADD code, I have 4/202 is the location. If you say 4 is my building code actually. So I'm just taking up 4 here. Next. Yeah, it was mapped with 11 people. If you say this, yeah, here is the text label or in the DWG file, here is the location of the user. One user got mapped to 204 seat number, 200 seat number, and you can just click on continue mapping. You can just skip and publish, or you can just click on OK if you are not satisfied. This is like just a location pattern. Yeah, this is what I wanted to say. Location pattern, like 4 is what here we are and taking as building ID, and room number I'm just taking to 202, and 8 is the room, and 207D is the room number. If you have included, if you say 202 is the combination of both floor number and room number, if 2 is mentioning as the floor, you can say floor, and 2002 is the room number, you can mention it like this, and 2 here is the floor, and 07D is the room number, you can mention. Yeah, this is the pattern just you are taking, so that all users, whichever you have, those office locations will be mapped to the text labels in the DWG file as this pattern. Yeah, for now I just mapped with 11 users already, so I'm just continue mapping and skip and publish. Yeah, it will take around 48 hours to crawl in the user's profile. Yeah, at least for the DWG file, at least 10 locations should be there. That is mandatory. And
Shekhar, you have 2 more minutes to end the session.
Yeah, that's it, Manoj. You can take over.
Okay, thanks, Shekhar. So yeah, so to recap all the sections what we have done. So as we have just showcased the microsearch search with the graph connectors with the SQL, DevOps, and the ServiceNow, and Shekhar has just showcased how the AI power of the acronym search into our organizationals, which we can define and promote those results. Floor plan, somehow it was working till yesterday night, not sure. So once we search for the people and we can hover on this particular location, we'll get the entire map, and it's easy to search where the people have sit. We can easily navigate and go and check it out. And bookmark, as you see here, so bookmark is basically to make the search more interactive. Such type of Power App application we can integrate with our search and get to know the more results. As you see the locations here which we have, we can get entire map of the particular locations or the users activities. And this is a Q&A type of questions, like which we are defining the Q&A maker. So Microsoft Search is using more on the NLP type of search and giving us the results. It's not text to text mapping. So that's all from our side. The last sections, if you want more details, you can go through the my blog site. So here you will get all the details. I have documented all the demos what we have done, Microsoft Search with a graph connector. It's a well documented with each step by steps. Everything is there. Even you get a GitHub link that is also mentioned there, what card we have designed. And this the ServiceNow connectors is also the entire article is there. And similarly for our DevOps. And the last with this, the Power App sections, what Shekhar has explained, that is also the documented here. You can go through and just check it out, and just with this article, you can build it in your organizations and just get the advantage. Yep. So I think that's all from our side for this session. So the few people had just posted the comments in the chat window. I will just reply offline to that. Thanks everyone for joining for this session, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks Manoj. I'm going to stop the recording because I need to go back to the other session now. So yes, you guys can continue. If anybody has Q&A, can continue here. Thank you everyone. Bye.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Okay. Blog sites I've shared. Thanks for joining.